Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at SemiconWest in San Francisco, California, and I'm joined by Tom Forsythe from Kyzen. Tom, great to see you again. Always a pleasure. You've switched halls. You're in a different part of Semicon. What's the thinking there, and what are you looking to do here at SemiconWest?
Well, Semicon is all about back-end packaging for us, and as the show's evolved over the last few years, we have stayed true to our roots in the packaging hall, and we decided to do a little experiment this year and say, well, the show's a little smaller. We'll try the front-end hall just to see if there's a different crowd of people. At this point, it seems like a pretty homogeneous group as within past years. So, but if you don't try new things, you never find out.
Absolutely. And what are you looking to learn here at the show? Who are you looking to meet, and what are the challenges they have for you?
Well, that's what's interesting about this. Between the keynotes and the technical sessions, you really hear the vibe. A lot of the production has moved around the world, of course, over the years, but a lot of the deep thinkers, still come home here. They either still live here or they come to the show. So you get a lot of interesting threads and things. So it's as much about getting a sense of where those things are leading, kind of not this afternoon or tomorrow things, but the down the road stuff. So that's a big part of the listening. And of course, we've got the stand to be here to meet people. We meet a lot of customers here. We meet a lot of new prospects. So it's the usual mix of things on the show floor.
Yeah.
But those. Hearing what the industry's thinking stuff is something that's kind of uniquely available here.
Yeah, what have you learned this week? What do you think the industry is thinking? I mean, we've heard a lot of talk about IoT in this part of the supply chain, which we've been hearing everywhere else. What have you heard that's impacting upon the process and what you need to do in terms of cleaning?
Well, IoT is the big driver, right? And what does that mean? Well, they need low power requirements and high performance, which of course are normally more construed as the supplies and demands curves that go in opposite slopes, right? So they're trying to change the paradigms there. Some of the roadmaps are kind of end of lifing, which means not that they're done, but there'll be a new life. Some new roadmap that will emerge, and the continued growth of packaging and how critical packaged devices are to achieving those IoT goals. That there's seems to be tremendous growth opportunities there, and of course that's an area that we've always, that's been our bread and butter in this sector. So that was pretty good news.
Yeah.
That is going to continue to be a core element of the future success. That's how IoT is going to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, the ICs are going to continue to grow and be more sophisticated, but the packaging elements, which deal with both form factor as well as performance, are going to be key things, and that's good for Kyzen.
Yeah, and we're normally talking about what's going on in the SMT area and the cleaning challenges there, and what's going on with stencil cleaning and all those areas. What are the unique challenges to the Semicon side that you don't have in that area, and what are the products that you bring to market to resolve those?
Well, just like all our worlds, the semi world has a few pieces to it, right? The wafer level land is still kind of traditional flux removal sorts of stuff. Things just keep getting smaller and smaller, and you just have to keep the performance up. Power electronics, of course, is always the emerging opportunity that seems to really be emerging.
Yeah.
And that's, those guys run at super high temperatures, and so that's really good for people that need cleaning, right? Because if your operating environment is that kind of high temp, then you're going to want those residues off there. And just the general packaging stuff. As IoT becomes a reality, the reliability expectations for everything is going to change. I was just reading something this week about, with our phones, right? The U.S. is starting to migrate away from the 2-year phone included contracts, and that means that phones need to last longer than 2 years in a day. That's an increased expectation. Does that mean all those people are going to be cleaning tomorrow? Certainly not.
Yeah.
Does it mean they might think about it a little more? Yeah, I think they probably will.
Yeah.
And that's that whole natural gravitas that as these technology devices become, we rely on them more and more. It's not that they're available, but that we genuinely rely on them. All of a sudden, cleaning enters the equation. Gee, can I improve yield? Can I improve reliability? At doing something that has a cost, but is the return there? And simply getting that discussion going rather than is a great thing. So those are the trends that we see that are quite positive, And this space is a good one for us. People have sophisticated needs and have sophisticated ways of analyzing whether their needs are being met.
Yeah.
And those are areas that we tend to be pretty successful in.
Okay. And you mentioned reliability there. That's clearly a big thing with IoT. You're going to have a lot of products connected that are just dormant for a lot of the time and need to work when they need to work. So that presents opportunity in itself. What's the next show for you guys? This is kind of the end of a big season, I guess, through the Americas.
Yeah,
what happens
tail
next?
end, I think Shenzhen's next on the assembly side, and then SMTAI, following that, are probably the next two major. Semi-Taiwan is just after Shenzhen, kind of in between those.
Yeah.
So the fall season is upon us
Yeah.
soon. The planning's in high gear for all those events, and because as you know, it takes a lot to pull them off.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. Well, Tom, thanks for your time. Good to chat to you, and I'll speak to you at one of those other shows. Thank you
so much. Great to see you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.